All You Need to Know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business.
Good morning, I'm Alex Matthew and this is the All You Need to Know podcast from Bloomberg Quint. Today is the 25th of March and day one of the 21-day nationwide lockdown. In fact, that's the first thing I want to tell you about. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the nation in a broadcast at 8 p.m. last night. He announced a 21-day nationwide lockdown in an effort to institutionalize social distancing and help prevent the spread of the highly infectious coronavirus. For 21 days, the Prime Minister said, "Forget what going out means." As of yesterday, India had 536 cases of the novel coronavirus and 10 people have died from the disease. During his speech, Prime Minister Modi acknowledged the economic impact of such a move, but said it was necessary. Modi's announcement caused some panic, with people rushing to stock up on medicines and groceries. But in clarifications issued almost immediately, both the central and state governments assured that all essential services would continue to function and residents' access to essential goods and services would also be provided for. For a full list of the exemptions to the nationwide curfew, do look up the Ready Reckoner on the website bloombergquint.com. And above all, stay home and stay safe. There are rising concerns about the well-being of India's poor population, with calls going out for the government to step in with relief measures. In fact, the central government has initiated a process to release nearly 52,000 crore rupees as a short-term relief to construction workers across the country. Earlier in the day, yesterday, the finance minister announced several measures, including waived penalties, interest and late fees, and extended compliance under the GST Act to help small and medium enterprises tide over the current disruption. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization has warned that the US could become a new hub of the outbreak. In the 24 hours till 10 p.m. last night, as many as 40% of the new cases were recorded in the US, according to Margaret Harris, a spokesperson of the WHO. Italy, which is the epicenter of the virus outbreak in Europe, has reported its second deadliest day of the outbreak, dashing hopes that the death toll in the country is declining. As many as 743 people died yesterday. Though one bit of positive news was that the number of cases rose by the least number in nearly a week. In other major news, the 2020 Tokyo Olympics will be delayed by as much as a year, in the first postponement since the modern games began in the 19th century. This was seen by many as almost inevitable and is the biggest global event to be disrupted by the coronavirus pandemic. Corporate news seems to be taking a bit of a back seat lately, and understandably so, but there was major news in the mergers and acquisitions space yesterday. The Financial Times newspaper has reported, citing two people with knowledge of the matter, that Facebook Incorporated is in talks to buy a stake in Mukesh Ambani's Reliance Jio Infocomm to expand its footprint in India. Now, according to the report, the social media giant was close to signing an initial deal for 10% stake in Jio, but negotiations stalled due to the travel bans that have been implemented since the coronavirus outbreak. In international markets, stocks in Asia rallied after the best session for US stocks in almost a dozen years, with investors rediscovering some appetite for risk as Congress negotiates an emergency spending bill. But US futures declined, indicating that gains may be short-lived. The Dow rose over 11.4%, while the other two averages gained around 9% in yesterday's session. As of this morning, the indices futures were heading lower by about 1%. And with that, it's over to Agam Vakil for the trade setup for the day in India. Good morning, Agam. How are we looking at the start today?
Good morning, Alex, and good morning, listeners. Well, it's going to be another uncertain start to opening trade, considering the lockdown announced by the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, yesterday. But on the other hand, we also have seen a lot of strength across global equity indices yesterday. But let's come down to stocks, and I start off with Moody's Investor Services, which has downgraded the corporate family ratings and foreign currency senior secured rating of Indiabulls Housing Finance to B3 from B2. The outlook on all ratings remains negative, and the downgrade reflects Moody's expectation that the company's access to funding will remain challenging for longer than expected. Moody's has also downgraded ONGC's local and foreign currency issuer ratings to Baa2 from Baa1. The outlook on all ratings remains negative in this case, and the downgrade reflects the increasingly uncertain oil price environment, ONGC's depleted cash reserves, and the government guidelines that constrains the state-owned enterprise's ability to lower dividends. ICRA, on the other hand, has upgraded Yes Bank's various bond programs ratings to ICRA B from default rating and places the company on ratings watch with developing implications. We have India Grid Trust, which has executed a share purchase agreement for complete acquisition of shareholding and management control in East-North Interconnection Company for an enterprise value of 1,020 crore rupees. The trust has completed acquisition of its 9th transmission asset, and this acquisition has increased its AUM by 10% to a little over 12,000 crores. Finally, coming down to Gujarat Alkalis and Chemicals, which have started operations, and that's commercial production of its anhydrous aluminum chloride plant at Dahej on March 23rd. The estimated increase in annual revenue of the company from this plant would be roughly 65 crores, according to the company, and the total capacity of the said plant will be 42,420 tons per annum. And Ircon International has set its record date for share split, that is 5:1, as April 7th. Now, these are just some of the stocks that we can watch out for as we move into trade today. But don't forget to log into our morning edition of All You Need to Know only on BloombergQuint.com.
Thanks, Agam. And as always, thank you all for listening in. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a good day and stay safe.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you could listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma, or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.